Fear. What is it? Why does it exist? And how can we overcome our fear in order to become the person we were meant to become? That's what we're going to talk about in today's video. Let's get right to it. I'm Brandon Eastman with BeBetterIndustries.com, and on this YouTube channel, we talk about peak performance, mindset, and achievement. Achievement towards your goals and achievement towards who you want to become. So if you're into those things, be sure to hit the subscribe button here and hit the bell. That way you're notified of all new videos every single Monday. And while you're down there, be sure to hit the like button. That way this video can be shown to more people who need help to overcome their fears. This video was a suggestion from Nizam Khan, who asked in one of my previous videos to make a video on overcoming fears. So if there's any kind of video that you want to see in the areas of personal development, be sure to leave a comment below and let me know what you want to see. So let's talk about fear. What exactly is fear? Fear is that instinctual response that goes throughout our body when we feel uncomfortable, when we feel like our life is in danger, because that's exactly what fear is. Fear is meant to keep you safe. Fear is meant to stop you from doing something that could potentially harm you. Now, this is the problem with fear. Only 1% of the time is that fear actually saving you from a potentially harmful situation. Because think about the times where you feel afraid. Maybe you're getting into bed in a dark room and you don't know what's around you, what kind of spirits, what kind of monsters. Okay, that's probably not when you are afraid. Maybe it is, but probably not. It might be when you're in a social situation. It might be when you're about to go into a job interview. It might be when you're about to have a difficult conversation with somebody and you don't know how that conversation is going to turn out. Fear is any time we feel uncertain. Anytime we feel that if we fail at doing something, we are going to have a consequence that will not be good for us. Fear can also prevent us from chasing after our goals and chasing after our dreams. Fear can stop us from taking action on what we know we need to do to get to where we want to go. As you can see, it's a pretty important thing to be able to overcome fear when we need to the most. So how exactly do you do that? Well, we have to start by understanding that we were only born in this world with two natural fears. We were born being afraid of falling down, and we were born being afraid of loud noises. Every other fear was adopted. Every other fear was learned. You might be saying, Brandon, why the heck would I learn a fear? Well, it could be when you were a child, something happened to you, and ever since that one occurrence or several occurrences, you just have this weird feeling whenever you're around that same type of situation. You might not even remember why you're afraid of certain things. You might be afraid of water to swim. You might be afraid of spiders. You might be deathly afraid of heights to the point where you don't even want to get into an elevator because you know that you're going high into the sky. Okay, those are unjust fears. Those are fears that will actually hinder you in life. Those are fears that will hold you back, and we have to know how to eliminate those fears. Now, the two most common types of fears that I encounter when I coach salespeople or when I work with anybody is a fear of failure. People have a fear of doing something and not succeeding, and because they didn't succeed the first time at what they went after, there was a negative consequence of some sort. That negative consequence could even be self-criticism because they didn't achieve their goal. And because they failed once, they never attempt to take action again. The reality is, if you want to be successful in today's world, you have to try a bunch of different things. There is no such thing as failure unless you give up. That is the only time you can fail. There's that old story of Thomas Edison who attempted to create the light bulb over and over and over again, to the point where Thomas Edison was on his 9,000th try, and his assistant said to him, Tom, why is it that you keep failing over and over and over again? Why do you continue when we've tried practically everything? And he looked at the assistant and said, we haven't failed to create the light bulb. We've simply found 9,000 different ways not to create the light bulb. On they continue to work and they continue to work, and eventually we have the light bulb as we know it. That's the reason you can see my face right now. There are lights pointing at me, okay? So don't give up. That fear of failure is unfounded. Simply try and try and try again. And I think the second most common fear that we encounter is actually the fear of success. And up here, if you click this link, I actually made a video on how to overcome the fear of success. So I won't talk about it too much here, but sometimes the thought of us rising up above where we are now and becoming a brand new version of ourselves, a brand new improved version of ourselves, we feel that we will outgrow our friend circles. We might even feel like we'll anger our friends, maybe even anger our family. And you might be thinking, Brandon, I would never feel that way. But sometimes we have that fear subconsciously. Sometimes we stay where we are now because it's comfortable for us. And by us growing above that, it instills fear in us. We all know how that feels because we've all been afraid, and some of us are afraid more than others. So how is it that we can actually overcome our fear using a simple strategy? Well, I'm glad you asked, because that's what we're going to do right now. The first thing we need to do in order to overcome our fears is recognize in the first place when we're afraid. When you feel that feeling of tightness in your chest, when your breathing slows down, when you can start to feel your heartbeat over and over, when you notice the feeling on your face is more stern and your eyes are wider and even your body might be slumped over like this, you might be hugging yourself, your arms might be crossed, you might be holding onto your arms, pay attention to your body language. Pay attention to your breathing. Pay attention to the beating of your heart and be in the moment now. That will tell you whether you're afraid or not. Now, this is very important. I want you to understand that sometimes when you are afraid, it's a good thing not to do whatever you're thinking of doing. As an example, if you're about to jump off of a big building, it's probably a good thing that you're afraid to do that. And as a result, you should probably not jump off of that big building, okay? 99% of the time though, fear holds us back from becoming the best version of ourselves. Okay, and we have to recognize the difference there. Because if we don't take action towards our goals because we're afraid all of the time, you're gonna get older and older and older. And when you are 60, 70, 80 years old, you're gonna look back at your life and you're gonna recount all the different times you were simply afraid to take action on something. And because of that, you're gonna have the worst feeling of all, a feeling even worse than fear, which is, as you know, the feeling of regret. The feeling of not becoming who you could have become because you simply didn't take action, because you allowed fear to overcome you. But right now, I want to talk to you about how to overcome fear. So the first thing is recognize it. Understand that feeling in your body. And when you have that feeling, I want to give you a strategy that I personally use. And there's a lot of different ways you can do this, but I'm going to guide you through a way that works for me. And it also works for a lot of different people that I've coached and worked with in order to help them overcome fear and really any negative emotion. Now, once you notice that you have that feeling of fear, what we're going to do is we're going to trigger a physical anchor on our body. Now, what that means is when you touch a certain point of your body, the point we're going to be working with is our thumb touching the back of our knuckle on one of our hands. You can use your right hand, you can use your left hand, whatever works for you. Some people do different shapes with their hands, like they'll do something like this. It all depends on you, but I want you to create a movement that you can use so that whenever you feel that feeling of fear and you know you need to overcome it to do something important, you can recognize that physical anchor and press on it. Because how would you rather feel? Instead of fear, you would rather feel this. Maybe it's comfort. Maybe it's confidence. What we're going to work with today is we're going to work with the feeling of determination. This is how we're going to do this. We're going to feel determined. I'm going to help guide you through this process. You just simply have to follow my instructions. Get in a quiet space away from other people where you can truly engage with this and install this tool into your neurology, okay? Because that's what we're doing. So choose the spot on your body that you want to use to fire this anchor whenever you are in a fearful situation. I'm going to use the thumb to the back of my knuckle on my middle finger. What I want you to do right now is I want you to simply close your eyes, okay? Don't worry, you're in a safe place right now. So simply close your eyes and take a deep breath in your nose and out your mouth. And as you're sitting there in your chair or as you're standing, I want you to simply feel the way that your body feels in the current state that you're in. Feel the blood rushing through your body. Hear the sounds that are around you. Maybe it's people talking. Maybe you're outside. Maybe it's the air conditioner or the vents. Simply hear the sounds, and I want you to feel the way that your feet feel against the floor, or even the way that your butt feels against the chair as you sit back and simply relax. And as you relax, I want you to take a deep breath in your nose and out your mouth. Because right now, I want you to feel the feeling that you feel when you are absolutely determined to see something through. I want you to feel the way you would feel as if you were completely and utterly determined to do whatever it is that was in your path. Feel the way you would feel whenever you need to overcome that fear, because you know that fear isn't great for you. You know that fear will hold you back. So feel the way you feel when you're determined. What are you doing with your face? You probably have a face of strict determination. Your eyes might be a little squinted. You might have a slight smile or a slight smirk on your face. You might feel the tightness around the sides of your eyes where the creases are as you feel determined to overcome whatever it is you're going after. Use your body in the way that you would use it. Put your shoulders back. How do you breathe when you're determined? You probably breathe freely. Air coming in and air coming out. Because you understand, especially when you're determined, that you can overcome any obstacle in your path. Now, as you feel this feeling of determination move through your body, you're going to notice a direction in which it flows through your body. And all I want you to do now is feel the direction that feeling of determination goes as you continue to feel that way. Because the more you sense that feeling, the more determined you become. And the more determined you become, the more you are able to tackle any obstacle in your way. So feel the direction that determination goes, and you're going to notice that you can actually make that feeling go quicker. We call it spinning an emotion. So spin that emotion. Cause that determination to flow through your body faster and faster and faster. Notice the direction it goes. Notice the way it feels as you feel more and more determined to do whatever it is you're going after, to become whoever it is that you want to become. So feel that determination. Keep that feeling on your face of determination. Use your body in the way you would if you were completely determined, and feel that feeling as it spins faster and faster. And as you spin that feeling of determination faster and faster, you are now going to slowly plant your anchor on your body physically. Place that anchor wherever it is that you want it to go, and feel that feeling of determination. And as you plant that anchor, you feel the feeling of determination become stronger and stronger and stronger. And the more you tap that anchor, the stronger your determination becomes as you become more and more determined. You even feel your determination strengthen as you slide that anchor up your finger, slowly but surely. Slide it up your finger, and the more you slide it, the more determined you are to overcome any obstacle in your path. So one more time, feel that feeling of utter determination, touch that spot on your finger or wherever your anchor is, and make it stronger and slide it up. And once you are ready, once you've planted your determination anchor, you can open your eyes and come back to the situation now. Because now, whenever you feel afraid, whenever you feel like something is holding you back, you now have a physical spot on your body that you can go to feel determined. When you feel that fear and you recognize it, number one, you go immediately to your kinesthetic anchor and you fire the anchor. You trigger it. Just like when you see a red light on the street, you immediately do what? You stop. And now when you touch that anchor, you're going to feel determined, and you'll breathe the way you would breathe, and you'll feel the way that you will feel, because the power of emotion is in your hands. You can feel however you want, whenever you need to. It is your power of choice. Now you have a strategy to overcome any fear that is in your path, any obstacle that stands between where you are now and where you want to go. And now I want you to click the link in the description below, the first link, and enter your email address, because I'm going to send you a free copy of my ebook that will give you strategies to help you reach your goals even faster. Remember, hit the subscribe button here and hit the bell. That way you see every new video every single Monday. And be sure to hit the like button if this helped you. Go in the comments below here and tell me what kind of videos you want to see in order to improve your own life. And until we talk again, continue to be better.